dollar. Dirt and money, no soul. Had to go and get it, ain't no time to kick it. Got a stack of flip for my foes. Dollar. Please tell me you can hear me. Don't turn your back and don't neglect me. Just let me know if you need me. Dollar. Let me watch out for my partners. Keep my money long, get my team strong. Let me run away from my problems.
Yep, what's good, original crew, man? We're back today, man. We got a new Tyler Oliveira video. We have Inside the City that legalized all drugs. Did it work? Because you remember we did the video where...
Was it with Canada?
Yeah.
I remember.
Let's see. Let's get an update. It's been a couple months. Let's see how... I think it's possibility is too early for an update.
Yeah.
I would like to see a year from now, like how everything's going. How's it flourishing? How's it? Hey man, with that being said, before you get into it,
sorry.
Make sure you check out the links in the description box
down below.
You already know where to go if you want to first support. All you gotta do is check out down below. Also, if you enjoyed today's visuals,
like it with a thumbs up.
We can't do these type of videos on our original channel, man. Hey, they get flagged every single time. But hey, for some odd reason on the backup channel, it's good to go.
Right? Crazy, huh?
It's kind of weird, but they say it's a violation of YouTube policy. But hey, it's available.
Makes sense. But yeah.
And without any hurt, harm, or danger on the backup channel. That's crazy to me. But hey, let's go. Let's check it out. Let's see what's about. You ready?
I'm ready.
Let's get it.
This is Vancouver, British Columbia, the epicenter of Canada's overdose epidemic and where drug addicts come to die.
I can buy my fentanyl right off my doctor.
Man, I've been smoking crack all day. It's not
No, I hear you.
It's the drug user.
We've gone so far as to provide drugs to people from...
Bro, that's the same thing they say about guns. It's not the guns, it's the gun users.
Like what?
Bro, I hate drugs.
And he said he can buy straight off of his doctor?
Yeah, it's fentanyl. Yeah.
A vending machine.
In January 2023, British Columbia became the first and only province in Canada to decriminalize.
Or did we watch the video and the video was old? Because we did some of his videos, watched it, and they had already been recorded.
I don't know.
I can't remember.
With that
so
one, I can't remember.
It might be a year later for him.
Yeah.
Sorry, y'all.
Criminalize small amounts of hard drugs.
All drugs are good and balanced. God made all drugs.
In an effort to destigmatize drug use, reduce criminal prosecution, and encourage drug users to seek out medical help.
I mean, these people are insane. They have no life to begin with. Oh, wow. And it's done in the open.
1 year into the experiment, though, BC drug overdose deaths reached record highs, with 7 people dying every day, prompting the...
Every day.
Who didn't see this coming? Oh, the know-it-alls. Oh, the people who said we could... Come on now. Oh, the people who don't understand drug usage. Who did... let's be real. Who didn't see this coming? Besides the powers that be. You know? It's always...
government to recriminalize the use and possession of drugs in public in April 2024. But was Canada's decriminalization experiment a complete failure? Or was it just missing a few other critical pieces in this puzzle of solving addiction? I pulled up to downtown East Hastings at night to see if people were still using drugs in public and what the solution to this epidemic might be. And with bongs and shiesties available on every corner store, I was curious what some of the business owners in East Hastings thought about the situation.
I got shiesties in.
All right, now I want to welcome you to Paraphernalia Bazaar. We got shiesties, we got bongs, we got it all. Infinite drugs.
It's crazy how Pooh Shiesty was wearing and now everybody's talking about shiesty masks. When it was always been a ski mask. That's crazy.
Paraphernalia to use drugs. Do a lot of people come in here and buy a bong for like meth, fentanyl, that sort of thing? Most probably. How is it safe out here as a business owner and employee?
Not that much safe,
okay.
But the thing is, if you are good to these people, they are good to you as well.
Yo, how you doing? Do you get boosted often?
Yes.
Did you have to put that door in so people stole less?
Yes, the boss put that in.
Okay.
For safety.
And is that a new phenomenon, or is that
that's
new? When?
Oh, past couple years.
Okay. Do a lot of drug users come in here, buy a bong, smoke some fentanyl in it?
I have no idea.
Okay, heard. Do we got gangsters coming in here buying shiesties? And look at this. We're gonna expose them. We got thief, 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 thief. Question for you guys. Do you guys get boosted from people often?
Sometimes, yeah.
Sometimes. Do you see it end up right on the streets afterwards?
No, but they can run, that's what happens.
Okay. Do the police do anything right now?
They try to help, but
Yeah.
always a little bit late, but they
Okay.
try to help us too, yeah.
Is it like a daily occurrence, would you say?
Once in a while, for sure.
Yeah.
But, you know, it all depends on their activities.
Sure.
So much in drugs, they don't know what they do, that's what happens.
Has it gotten better or worse the last 4 or 5 years?
It's getting worse now.
Once again, it is quite easy to get some drug paraphernalia. And of course, you got the food desert items right
that's a
here. You
little,
got 3 cereal
flame.
boxes for $15. Knives, only $25. All hats, only 20.
3 cereal boxes for so it's what, $5 per box? That's about right, eh?
Yeah, cereal, huh?
Yeah, cereal is high.
Now, yeah.
Now it's only $25. I
All
seen
hats only 25.
I've seen knives higher than that though.
$25. Spend $50 on a bong and torch. Get free butane. 3 butane for only $10. How is it running a shop out here? Is it getting a little shiesty sometimes or no?
It is.
It can get crazy?
Yeah.
Are these here to prevent like a robbery or what?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you get boosted from often?
Yeah.
Yeah. This place is looking pretty dilapidated right now. More bongs. More bongs. Bongs, 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 bongs. It's easier to get a bong out here than it is a monster.
And not to mention needles, foil, and anything else you might need to support your crippling drug addiction. It's almost like nonprofits and NGOs are incentivized.
Boy, you remember that video? What was that photo or video that person that was leaning
The one
on?
you sent me where he was just in the parking lot.
Boy,
And he was like all the way back.
like
I
that boy,
said-
he was doing a lean
I
hard.
said, how is this even possible?
That looks so uncomfortable, bro. Like,
I said, this, man,
do
sad.
they not have chronic back pain after like coming up out of it?
I'm pretty sure. And then after a while, being in that position for so long, you kind of get like your body just get
forced into that position,
formed into the air.
and then now you walking like that. You just why is
or the ones that be like all hunched over, like as far as like the ones that was in the beginning of this video and the other ones we've seen.
I wonder how long does it last? Because it looks like they be in a position for hours.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it feels like visually it feels painful. Like your body's going through intensive pain, but it's so
They
numb.
don't feel a thing.
To help keep these people addicted to drugs rather than guiding them towards rehabilitation and sobriety.
And I've been smoking crack all day. It's not.
No, I hear you.
It's the drug user. Right.
My question though is reduce the harm, keep that person alive. But if there's no emphasis on helping that person detox, get into rehab at some point, if you can get acutely poisoned much faster with something like this, then maybe alcohol is my argument. Government's not going out handing out vodka shots, right?
My
to
generation
alcoholics.
didn't face these problems. I'm
Fentanyl?
56 years old, yeah.
Fentanyl's crazy.
It is. I don't want to go off the deep end on
Yeah.
conspiracy theories.
Please do.
The government controls the drug trade and always has. You go back to the East India Trading Company and the Opium Wars. You know, what we did to India and China.
But don't nobody.
This is her hair.
Yeah. But don't nobody tell you to smoke crack. If I go to you want some crack, you can say, nah, boy, I ain't on that.
Yeah.
Like somebody approached me, hey, like literally, I done got approached. Hey man, you want to, like, nah, bro, stop approaching me. Ask me, hey, you got some drugs? Or no, I don't. Y'all don't understand. I get asked that a lot. Like when I'm out, I get asked that a lot. Hey, you know I can get. Hell no, I don't.
Don't know a thing. Don't
Well,
do
I
a
do,
thing.
but
Don't
not
know
around-
nothing.
Not here. I don't know nothing here. Now go back home. What you want? What you looking for? I could probably know somebody.
Don't know nobody. Ain't sending you nobody. Ain't helping you find nobody.
But I don't know you till even give you. She's like exactly. She like exactly. But no, man, like y'all gotta stop. And we gotta quit blaming others for your habits that you are choosing. You just said I've been smoking crack all day. All right, crackhead. You know what I'm saying?
Back to the East India Trading Company and the Opium Wars. You know, what we did to India and China back in the day,
Yeah,
what the
it's terrible.
British Empire did. Why would they ever give up the most valuable commodity on the planet?
Do you think this is the reverse of the opium war?
It's interesting to consider China as the #1 supplier of fentanyl. I don't know that that's true, though. It's good propaganda. So let's make people like me the bad guy. Let's make people like them the bad guy. Let's make the unwanted middle children the bad guy. Yeah, let's discriminate against them. Junkies, homeless,
Like addicts. Yeah.
They'd rather complain about the shit in the f***ing alley than give us a porta potty.
I get your point, right? Why discriminate these people? Why stigmatize these people? But it seems questionable to not stigmatize the drug use, right? Why not stigmatize?
Did you just see what they had to him? Man, this is crazy, bro.
I mean, I don't know. I'm still trying to just wrap my head around how, why,
What the hell
who
we
thought
going
that this was, like, I just have so many questions, but...
We really gonna continue. We supporting the habit. Supplying the habit. On the real, this like...
And I remember in the first one, it was like one of the reasons, don't know, the main reason, but one of the reasons is just so that they would have clean, like, because they're going to, in their head, like, their thing was they're going to do it anyway, so let's supply them with, like, fresh needles and fresh this and fresh, but I'm like, let's just not do it at all. And I don't know, because either way it go, I mean, people are still perishing.
But you got to think about it like this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's just throw this in it. We're gonna supply them with what they want, right? We're gonna continue to feed the habits. PDF files. Let's just supply them with their habits.
That's different.
That's addiction is addiction.
No. I get what you're saying, but that's not the same.
Man, come on now.
As the activity that's causing people to die,
Well, we're supporting the law enforcement agendas by electing these governments and allowing these governments to pursue law enforcement agendas that criminalize drugs. And while doing so, we've created a black market economy that enables terrorists.
What do we have right here? Is this a little boosted market here? No judgment, just curious.
No, stuff that I own.
You're selling your goods?
On my travels.
Okay.
Well, yeah, because I had to come up with some money to help somebody. She's in big trouble. And I've come up with now $65.
Okay.
And she needs $70.
She's paying off debts, I assume?
You betcha.
How common is that? Because I hear Welfare Wednesday, that's when you get checked in.
Like if you get debts and Welfare Day, you don't get the pay.
Yeah.
They give you some time, right? And if you pay 1/3 of it or something like she is, I'm helping her. She's going to get an extension of time and she can go sell her ass or whatever, to get some.
Selling her body?
Yeah, selling her body or whatever. Yeah, I told her I'd give it till 8 o'clock.
You know what we're going to do? We're going to make it 70. Appreciate you.
Thank you, man.
How are the streets these days? What's going on?
A lot of gang running.
That's what we hear. A lot of Montreal East Coast gangs have come in.
I don't know about that. There's ones that's been here for all along, so.
So local gangs is what you're seeing?
That's what I see.
Is it safe out here?
As long as you don't have big debts that you haven't skipped on.
How long have you lived out in the streets, if I may ask?
I live in...
Oh, you live SRO?
Yeah.
How is the SRO? We've heard a lot of different thoughts.
I was in a really crappy one for like 16 years. I hated it. It was very unhealthy, unclean. I'm in a cleaner one now, but it's got other crap. The social issues are a little more of an issue.
The safe injection side doesn't do nothing. They say we want to save these people.
Like harm reduction.
Harm reduction and save their life. They have no life to begin with. I mean, these people are insane.
So you think the government's investing in people who are too far gone? Is that kind of what you're saying?
A recovery program.
Some emphasis on detox, rehab, treatment?
They have to invest on this,
Okay.
and get rid of the safe injection site, whatever you call it.
Speaking of which, as we speak, this young man is pulling out the torch, and he is going to light some meth, fentanyl, heroin maybe.
Oh, wow. And it's done in the open, but it's exactly legal in a way,
Yeah, apparently it's been recriminalized though.
Oh, is that right? But they still do.
Exactly.
And they
cops
still
walking by, they don't do anything. So I'm asking folks their thoughts on if the sort of harm reduction is helping or hurting.
It's kind of enabling in a way, but at the same time, it is. It could be run differently. You could put it that way. It would help if it was done properly.
You said us. Do you use anything?
Fentanyl and a little bit of meth here and there. Smoke weed every day though.
How many times have you died?
That's a hard question, man.
That's a crazy question, but every time I ask it to a fentanyl user, they answer
Thousands,
2, 3.
man.
Thousands?
Yeah, not just from dope, from everything in my life, man.
Yeah, what can be done to fix all this? Do you think if someone offered you like, yo, you want to get in detox right now, you take them up on it?
No, because I don't think that works, man. You have to be ready. It's your decision. You can't help anybody who doesn't want to help themselves, right?
Do you think the housing first approach works? Like get in the house. Have you seen a lot of people overdose in those houses and the SROs they've been given?
I live in the Molson down on Hastings and Main, right in the center of it all, and we've had a few. I mean, in the last 2 years, it's going to happen anywhere the drugs are, right?
Yeah.
Do you agree necessarily with that? Like the free housing, the free this, is like you keep pumping freeness into them. Do you think that's helping them, or possibly enabling the habit?
Possibly can be enabling because not only is like they're being supplied with like the free rooms and stuff like that, then plus whatever the sightings are for them to go get these supplies, and like it's just like an ongoing cycle and nothing changes. Like you're like, okay, I get these supplies, I get free, like I don't have to do anything but what I want to do, and that's the drugs. You know what I'm saying? Because the one guy earlier, he was like, he'd been staying in one for 16 years, so nothing has changed in 16 years for you. Like that's an issue.
Because that's kind of the same thing when they talk about the homeless crisis, right? A lot of people also is like, why are we supplying them with free homes? It might enable them not to get off their feet even more if they don't have to do anything and they can just live amongst society. Because other people, we have to go to work. We have to work for the lifestyle we want to live. But if you supply them with a home, food, shelter, all these things, then what's motivating them to do better?
And not saying that you may have a handful that may have a job and go, but they still do all, like it's still like
it should be regulations.
Like, I feel like it should be a time limit on it. Like if you have it for them, like within this amount of time, we need to see some type of progress so that you can be able to be out on your own. As far as like, you know,
and be able to sustain.
It should be a better program, a better setup, a better like this whole system.
Like what dude said is true. You can't help somebody who don't want to help themselves, right?
You can.
So also with that being said, how about we go it this way, right? We supply you with these housings, but also we provide you with a drug test. You have to drug test within a certain amount of time, once or twice a month, to make sure there's nothing in your system. As long as you and we have to see you actively looking for employment. You might not have employment. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah,
we have it set up where we can be able to handle that, but we need you actively trying to do better. No drug usage, no alcohol consumption, nothing that can slip you back down this rabbit hole. Then once we can still qualify you. Hey, if you're not able to find a job, you're not able to find work, we can be able to then provide you assistance. We got to see you try yourself first. Then we can provide you assistance. Hey, we need to be able. Okay, let's see how we can do on his resume. See what kind of experiences. See if we can have a job portal to be able to send them to certain interviews and get them on and do job coaching and teach them how to have proper interviewing skills and
stuff like that.
Then set them on a fast-paced track. Now let's say people set up a banking account. We're not going to monitor what you're doing with your money, but we just want to make sure you understand. And then put them in some financial classes, like once or twice a week. It's plenty of people who know finance will volunteer with helping those who don't know understand finance and budgeting and saving. So they can, like, there's things you can do.
And I would say the housing would be okay for people to stay there long term if also a lot of them that may stay there when doing like the drugs as well. Like, so I think that's a good idea, like drug testing and making sure like you still have to follow certain protocols, and if things like if you fail these drug tests then you handle that accordingly, or however, like if it's like, hey, you are no longer able to be in the home, like whatever it is. But I don't know.
And then we have a period where we want to see how you do after 12 months. Where are you at? Like, where's your savings account looking at? Like, how are your money? Because now if you're in finances where you can save $10,000, $20,000, because that, like, it's even working at McDonald's, but if I got free housing, but you're helping me understand financial and budgeting and understand finance, you could save up $20,000 within a year. And it could. But once we transition to the real world, we want to be able to stay in communication. So, hey, how about 6 months? You come, we do therapy, one-on-one sessions, once or twice a month. You're now on your own. We just want to make sure you stay on that right path. That's an 18-month program that can really help somebody fix their life for the rest of their life. I think that's a good, ideal program.
But like, just you have to want it.
Yeah. But it's for those who want to change. But those who don't want to change, they just want to, if you want to be on the streets and it's illegal, you get locked up, that could be another 18-month program for you. But it could be a harsher program.
Well, with the drug problem, it's really bad. I think there's always been somewhat of a problem, but since 2016, it's become an epidemic, and it doesn't seem to be getting much better. Hopefully it will.
Do you think the harm reduction has helped people get off the drugs out here, or is it kind of worsened the situation?
I don't know, man. 6 to 1, half and the other, right? I'm come from a city where the harm reduction is few and far between, and that doesn't help the scene either, right? So it's like, is there overabundance? Maybe, but when it comes to like quick access is quick access, right? The user's going to use, right? No one's getting clean or safe unless they want to, right?
Do you know many people who use safe injection sites out here? Are those pretty good? Or
I've worked that one, yeah.
Yeah?
Actually,
How was that experience?
It's good. I find those to be very helpful, especially for the type of drugs that get used down here. Heavy sedative type drugs. To have a safe injection site's huge for females, I would imagine.
So is this a boosted little setup we have here?
Absolutely not. This is all my personal stuff. I used to do that until it became hard on my heart.
What are your thoughts on the harm reduction out here? Is that working or is it not working?
It's a good thing, actually. I couldn't imagine living, sharing needles and getting by that way.
Makes sense.
It saves lives.
How long you been out here in East Hastings?
My whole life. I was born in New West. This is where I come to sin and
Disneyland of drugs out here, yeah?
yeah.
Has it always been that way since you've been here?
To different degrees.
Yeah.
15 years ago, it was like China White.
Heard?
And heroin, and now it's all fentanyl. It's really, I don't think it's healthy for you.
Yeah.
It's really bad for
Are
you.
you seeing xylazine and trank out here too?
Yeah, and I'm crippled. I can barely walk now because of that xylazine.
Does your back hurt? Does not look comfortable.
For me to go 2 or 3 blocks, it takes an hour. It's not fun.
Did you know that this would be the side effect, the back bending? Like if there's any kid out there who's trying fentanyl, would you recommend they try xylazine or trank?
No, never.
How many times have you died out here?
I've got a weird thing. I'm really immune to drugs.
Okay.
I don't overdose. I've been doing it for 30 years.
What's the biggest drug of choice out here right now? Fentanyl?
Probably fentanyl and coke and speed, and there's crackheads everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess my last question is, have you had any friends or family die out here you've seen?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The building I live in, every week somebody's bumping off.
Are you an SRO?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's hell. I got a drug dealer and a hooker girlfriend. And
I was trying to see. It said what is that? Affordable, a type of affordable housing that provides small rooms for low income residents. Oh, okay.
9 times out of 10.
Seniors and people who are formerly homeless. Oh, okay.
So government assistance, you get it for free, even though it's a low income.
Yeah.
If I have no income,
then
I get a free housing.
But then if you do, then you have to pay a small fee or something.
Basically, like low income housing.
It's based on it. Okay, that's what I'm reading. Yeah, I'm just trying to make sure. But yeah, okay, cool.
Oh, I got a drug dealer and a hooker girlfriend, and I live in between the two of them.
If you wanted to get sober in an SRO, would it be close to impossible, you think?
Yeah.
Is it just because you're close to so many active drug users and drug dealers?
Exactly, yeah. Down here, you can't get it that way. Your doctor will give you the drugs. I can buy my fentanyl right off my doctor.
More people out here using drugs since like 2016, or?
Yeah, a lot less people out here using drugs because a lot of people have died with the fentanyl crisis and all that has gone on. You can OD and die from taking a dragon, where with heroin, that would hardly ever put you down.
By dragon, you mean?
When you smoke like a little bit on tinfoil.
I went to right over there, they gave me some foil and some needles.
Oh yeah. That's like, it's called harm reduction.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's helping the situation or helping more people die eventually?
I don't know. That's the argument, right? It can be looked at either way, and people are dying here. It's escalating, and that's kind of what the dark side of what's going on here the past couple of years is what's happening. And I don't believe that the police are purposely trying to go out and kill people, but they're looking the other way while people are dying and allowing it to happen.
But let me tell you, the thing that people don't know about this area, it's really important when the face isn't shown, because there's lots of extortion. The women are actually the people that run the street, and they're all very mentally ill, and they're very erratic, and you don't know if you're just going to get clipped off the side of the head when you're just sitting there minding your own business. I got this beaten out of me. It was a couple days before Welfare Day. It was around 8 p.m. I was walking through that tunnel thing over there, and she just beat the living out of me, like my eyes.
For no reason.
She wanted my bag, and she's been harassing me for months and months because she's a lesbian. I don't know what her deal was. And I was black and covered in blood, and then the cops were sitting right there, and I was running to them, yelling, please help, covered in blood. It stung so bad because the blood and the tears, it really hurts. And the cop was like, well, we're here on something else. I'm like, well, I don't have a phone. I'm broke. Welfare won't pay me for the past 3 months. It's very dangerous. You shoplift and you try to not hurt people as much as you can, right?
As I walk through alleys full of limp corpses.
How y'all doing? Hi.
Little pop-up shops full of stolen goods.
We got a little Chinatown market right here. We got some wares. Take a look at the wares.
And the occasional rat.
Yo, double rat. Damn, you know you're in it when you got rats.
You have to wonder how any of this is really compassion. Have we, as a society, just given up on these people and decided that giving them the tools they need to overdose until they finally die is the best option available?
Question for you, boss. You lighting Fent? Fent? Yeah, all right. All right, lighting a little Fent to end the night out here. Hopefully
I'm not gonna be around.
What are you smoking at? What is it, Fent?
As anyone with an IQ,
I could not be like, just,
I'm
not like, oh, you.
Especially, it's nothing that like everyone else that's around it, like
might be somewhat
that's
immune
something
to
they
it.
used to. I'm not. I don't even want to like be around it, inhale it, nothing.
Yeah.
Like a whiff. I'm good.
You over 80 that's not in denial can realize that the infinite number of bongs available for sale on nearly every corner of East Hastings are being used for mostly anything but weed or tobacco. You understand that East Hastings is a black hole that gives drug addicts everything they need to destroy themselves. And it was clear that the recriminalization of drug use and possession in public did not seem to observably reduce any of it.
All right, boss, who am I here with?
How's that? I'm Derek.
How long you been out here?
We've been here in Granville 15, 16 years, something like that.
Has it gotten better or worse since you first got here? Way worse?
Way worse, dude.
How so, boss?
People people think it's gory, they steal from their friends, you know, it's pretty bad down here, man.
Yeah. Do you think it's mostly fentanyl that's caused a lot of problems out here?
I really do, honestly. Honestly. Not only fentanyl, a lot of lazy parenting too. Spank your kids more often, put them in line. You know, it is what it is.
So I see these bongs everywhere too. Are most people buying the bongs and using it to smoke like fentanyl, heroin, that sort of thing?
Yeah.
What are your guys' thoughts on the harm reduction out here? Is it helping or hurting folks?
50-50, I think. You're enabling people at the same time. You're hurting people at the same time, I think, right?
They save a lot of lives, but you know, also they hurt a lot of lives too, right?
What's up? Oh, we're just interviewing folks out here. Bad news?
Yeah.
Like right here or just in general?
In general.
Okay. We're just making sure everyone's cool with it before we roll.
It's your choice, bro.
What do you mean? We're peace-loving guys.
Me too, bro.
Okay, all right, we're chilling though. We're trying to talk about harm reduction and if it.
There must be they were 9 times out of 10 probably approached by somebody who deals, and these are his customers, and he like, hey, bring your heat to my spot.
You bring your heat to yourself.
It's benefiting or hurting folks out here, but I think low key he's gonna kill us maybe if we keep goofing around here.
No.
Is he chill?
Yeah, he won't do that. He can't do that because I won't let him.
I look across the street, I see Insight right here, right? Is that a good thing or a bad thing? What do you think?
It's a great thing. Ever since it's been up, many lives have been saved. I haven't heard of anybody ever OD and pass away.
Hold on, my bad. But for real though, see, what's she gonna do? Somebody, I won't let him do that.
Like,
if he want to do it, he gonna do it.
I'm like, it's not too much you can't do, you know. But yeah, anyway.
Ever since it's been up, many lives have been saved. I haven't heard of anybody ever OD and pass away in there yet.
Do you think it enables any drug use, or is it mostly all good and helps keep people safe when they do OD?
I think it's a bit of both. It is enabling in some way. It does, right? I came down here when I was 19, and I remember I used to visit my mom down here, seeing all the parties happen and everything, and I saw the parties my mom had and that, and as soon as I was 19, I was only supposed to go to the dentist here. My appointment was in the afternoon. I got here in the morning, and I thought I'd go meet my mom's friends, and I've been here ever since I was 19 and never left. My dad passed away down here. He used to drink they tried doing harm reduction for alcohol as well, you know? So, seriously, it has saved lives. I wish there was a lot more that people would understand, you know? And,
what do you think is misunderstood right now?
That it's saving lives.
Is it too easy to get drugs out here right now, or is it you're going to get them somehow, might as well make it easy and make it safe? What do you think?
It's easy and it's not easy. Down here for 30 years, you know, you've done here 30 years, you earn your respect down here. Back in the day, then people never used to steal off each other down here. Anybody that did that, they were kicked off the block then, but now it's just crazy. But I really want to get clean myself and be down here because I went to school to be addiction counseling. I had 2 exams and 2 rewrites, and I would have my diploma. I relapsed. That was when my mom passed away, and I want to get clean and be down here and help other people.
Have you asked for a detox?
Not yet.
You're not ready yet?
I'm pretty close to being.
Yeah.
I used to be standing straight. I'm not anymore. I'm leaned over now.
Yeah. Does that do the trank?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I want to, you know, my boyfriend, we want to get married, and man.
Yeah.
I want to walk down that aisle
Yeah.
straight, you know?
I mean, I hope you get sober one day if that's what you want. You know, I think
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to see you die. You don't want to die out here.
I want to help people.
Yeah. I think your story can inspire a lot of people too.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, I believe in you.
I'm glad we saw you today. You know what's supposed to happen.
Yeah, I know it's a crazy world, right?
And it inspired me to
Yeah.
inspired me to want to.
You're gonna do it? Yeah, I want you to get clean. I want you to get sober. I don't want you to die. And I just met you, but you seem like a sweetheart. Give a safe night, okay? That's okay. All right.
While the harm reduction is theoretically here to help prevent overdoses, save lives, and reduce the spread of disease,
What? All this is
I'm not
just
laughing.
sad.
I'm not laughing at the woman at all, y'all. See, understand why I'm looking at her laughing.
I'm laughing. I mean, not laughing. He's laughing at me because I'm an emotional creature.
She be crying at the blink of her eye, y'all.
Because it's so sad, especially when you like know people firsthand that have like died from drugs or that are on drugs, or you've just seen them growing up battling with certain addictions, like firsthand. And it is sad, but you do have to like seriously, genuinely want that change. Like you have to genuinely like, I don't want to live like this. I don't want to die like this.
Because some people say they want to change, right? Mm-hmm. And they say it, but they're not ready for it, and that makes them relapse. They go through the whole process. They go like, "Oh, I'm clean, y'all clean," and then they relapse. And then like, yeah, because they really wasn't ready.
Yeah.
They said it was. Maybe somebody was in their life influencing too. They're like, yeah, I need to get.
And sometimes you may relapse. Like I've seen it again.
Yeah.
Like a lot of things, like with this, it does touch me because I like have dealt with things like this, like personal, not me, but like family members or whatever the case may be. And you may relapse, but you keep trying, keep trying until you get it right.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
That is true.
is theoretically here to help prevent overdoses, save lives, and reduce the spread of disease, I can't help but wonder if in Vancouver's attempt to copy the Portuguese model of handling drug addiction, that they've forgotten that harm reduction is a means to an end. One of many tools used in an incentive-based approach to help encourage drug addicts to reintegrate into society, get a job, treating their addiction as a health crisis rather than criminal activity. If only there was a highly qualified doctor who has studied this issue for the last 20 years that might have a practical solution to treating Canada's drug epidemic.
I want you to tell me about the research you were conducting, how it eventually was ordered to be destroyed, and what you found throughout that research.
That first mentor that I mentioned, Bruce Alexander, people who know addiction will likely link his name with some studies that were known as the Rat Park experiments. Okay. What Bruce showed in that work, and it had a big influence on me, was that rats living in isolation, given a choice between morphine and chow, tended to consume quite a bit of morphine. But if you took those same rats, even after they became dependent on morphine in isolation, and you moved them into a park-like setting where they're living with other rats and they've got lots of stuff to do, they will switch their preference and instead orient to chow. It's like a natural intervention. Part of what inspired this was when Vietnam veterans had been identified in the 70s as addicted to heroin. The nutshell story is that they returned, and very few of them had ongoing problems with heroin, and very few of them who made that change accessed any form of treatment. Again, it was a result of the environment. And even if they have access to morphine, you expose them literally to better things to do. That's an involuntary type of intervention. Okay. What about intervening voluntarily?
I know what he talked about because it's kind of the thing that I preach on a lot of times, is a lot of people are influenced by the environment. You put them in more of a positive light environment. But can that be done with drug usage, though? Like 100%. You know what I'm saying? Because like you are influenced by your environment. You take somebody from the suburbs, you go drop them out in the hood, they're going to conform to the environment. They're going to be influenced no matter what type of education they have, no matter, you know what I'm saying? They're going to come, they'll be like, hey, this is the environment I am in now. I have to become, you know?
Yeah.
So you take somebody who's addicted to drugs and you put them in a space where there's not much drug usage or there's no drug usage, and there's other things that people got going for themselves, so they're going to eventually be like, well, I don't need the drugs, you know what I'm saying?
But you know, you only gave the one example of taking a suburban kid and putting them in a, but what about vice versa?
Can you take somebody from the hood and...
I'm not saying can you, I'm saying, like, do you think...
Yeah, that's a possibility too.
Okay.
And some might want to go back to it. And that's why you see a lot of people eventually, they be gone for a long time. And it's they're calling. They like, I got to go back to it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like me, I come from a certain situation. I went away from it. I have no
desire to go
no
back.
desire. And I actually don't like going back to
that area.
Yeah, the vibe, the feeling,
that environment.
Yeah, and I'm like, it's not the environment for me. I prefer the environment I am in now.
But I do wonder, like, as far as when it comes.
But also, I want it better for myself, and that's the key.
And that's the thing, like, it's about what you want, what you've made up in your mind, what the heart desires, and like it's all about that and choices, and like it's just a lot. I feel like that goes into it. But when it comes to like drugs and stuff like that, because drugs have such a strong hold on people.
It does.
So breaking those chains and stuff like that, I don't know, like, it's like if just putting them in like a different environment, because some people find like whatever environment you put them in, they adapt to that environment and then start finding a way to get it somehow, because you always have someone somewhere,
or switch the addiction to something
else. So I'm just like it could work. Like, I get what he's saying, it definitely could work, but I don't know, because when people really want something bad enough, baby, they gonna find a way.
Or alternative. They'll be getting high on bleach or something.
Like, just, I don't know. Especially when they, like, haven't, like, made up in their mind, like, I don't want to do this anymore. Yeah. It's just like, oh, you taking me from one environment, put me in another. But I guess if you putting somebody in a different environment, then maybe it's because they want a change, I guess. Because they're putting themselves in, like, a different, I don't know. But let me finish hearing them.
Yeah, sure.
Things to do. That's an involuntary type of intervention. Okay. What about intervening voluntarily? Could we simply go up to people on the street and say, hey, you're clearly struggling with a bunch of things. I've got some things to offer you. Does any of it sound good? One of the studies that we did along these lines involved offering people choices of housing. Housing in intact buildings where the sort of the social mix was already established. It was people paying rent, going about their lives. And our responsibility was to make sure that our clients who moved in were sufficiently supported so that they would be successful.
How did that play out?
People with clinical backgrounds were some of the most pessimistic, that this is not going to work, people are not going to change, landlords aren't going to rent to you, if they do, they're going to regret it. Again, this is like from the people who are supposed to be helping, but we went ahead and did it, and it was successful. We randomly assigned people who had been homeless, it turned out, for about 10 years. We randomly assigned people to receive usual care, which here in BC costs about $55,000 per person per year. Shelters, street outreach support, those kinds of things. Then we randomly assign people to the intervention I described, where they're given choices and responsibilities and support. A third condition was people being housed all together. We had 107 people all living together in the same building with a team on site.
That's kind of like the SROs, right?
It's SROs on steroids, though. What if we were to do as we did, shift the incentives, shift the things on the positive side of the ledger that would be incentives for change? So yes, you can move into this apartment, but if you're going to move into this, you can't be having dealers and other people over to the apartment to use drugs, because that's going to get you in trouble with your neighbors. Over time, they start to think about, well, gosh, returning to work. One of the things that struck me as most poignant was when people would think about reconnecting with their kids. And those kinds of thoughts about my potential future self are closely related to people's motivation for changing their use of drugs. If people are arrested, brought before a judge, and are not presented with choices, but are instead say, look, you can either go to jail, or you can go through this intensive treatment program. It's going to take about a year, and you must remain drug-free throughout. They really need to be separated from drug using and the drug scene urgently and immediately in order to have a good chance of survival.
What did the government do in response to your research, which seems like a solution to a lot of these problems?
This research built up over 20 years. Several investigators, a lot of PhD trainees developed their research and adding to this pool of data. And we got to the point of drawing it all together and saying we put together a proposal to begin scaling up effective supports for people in multiple regions of BC and evaluating what we were doing. And we presented that to the government. And what I didn't know when I made this recommendation, this presentation, is that the government had already committed financially to a massive expansion of housing people altogether and providing them with drugs. Because I'm an honest person and I thought I was speaking to people with integrity.
Sure.
I said one of the things we're going to be able to do with this updated information is evaluate some of the public services that have been operating through the COVID years, during which we had expanded this model of congregating people together. 1 week after I made this presentation to deputy ministers, we received a letter from the government ordering us to immediately destroy all of the data and sanitize hard drives. And
20 years of work down the drain.
I mean, massive data holdings covering like about 250,000 people.
That would have effectively helped anyone in this situation currently.
Here in BC, our government committed very heavily to
Let me say this. So basically his idea is kind of sort of the same as what I had said earlier.
In the when you was trying to like come up with like a solution.
'Cause that's
basically what his solution was, but
that's
it's
the
like
only
y'all
thing I
don't
see.
But they don't want. Obviously, it's like
hell no, you don't. You honestly, let's be real. When it comes down to the government, do they really want to see people get clean? Hell
no,
no.
and that's my point as to even like the supply of
making
it.
And this is not America. This is Canada.
Of the supply of making. Even of the saying like, hey, we're doing this, that, and the third to help, like even with supplying like clean supplies and stuff like that. I'm like, you really deep down think that that's helping? You know what I'm saying? Like when you look at the bigger picture, you really think that that's like helping?
Yeah, that's the main reason why I said, because the solution that the option that I had gave was typically based off it's like, all right, how do you get people really out the street? They're not getting out the street without housing, any type of housing, and they are not in the financial means to be able to provide housing. They wouldn't be on the street if they, Yeah. So you have to lead them away, lead them some way, some part of the way. You have to be able to supply the needs, right? Mm-hmm. But you also, on their end, they got to be held accountable. So that's the only
like
solution.
You said, give them
to even cure homelessness.
Yeah, and I do feel like it could be done. Like I do feel like that was a good idea. Like trying it for the ones like you said, going up to them and actually like this is a choice. You have a decision. We have decisions. Like you have choices in life. You can choose to stay out here and do this, or you can choose to come over to this side and change your life and get off the drugs and get clean and like really get back into society in a positive way. But you will have a handful that don't want it. That's what they want to do. That's all they know. They don't think anything's wrong. And then you do have those ones that have been battling back and forth, wanting to change. But like I said, drugs have such a stronghold on people mentally, physically, whatever. So it is hard for some people to turn away from, being out here 15, 16, 30 years on drugs, whatever the case may be. But again, it is doable. You can change. You can go down this different path.
Find something better.
Find something better. Get back into work. Find a hobby. It's so many things that you can do, to keep your mind occupied where you don't have to turn to drugs. But
Here in BC, our government committed very heavily to a frontier in the use of pharmaceuticals. And this is taking the model of prescribing drugs and decoupling it from any kind of a long-term program or plan that's designed to help people socially reintegrate. We've gone so far as to provide drugs to people from a vending machine type of device right here.
I saw that.
And the government wrote about this as the beginning of a kind of a global revolution. So far, the results are, as predicted, terrible. If all you do is provide someone who's homeless, struggling psychologically, unemployed, estranged painfully from their families with an alternative source of medication, we call that treatment. It's never going to achieve any kind of meaningful change. The Portuguese were already all on top of this, and because they built out the system prior to enacting their decriminalization step, they were able to engage people through dissuasion commissions in robust forms of support that got them out of the settings where they were living in strife and at risk. Because of how they went about it, they did not need to introduce a single drug consumption site. If what you're chiefly concerned about is reducing the transmission of diseases, then a consumption site will help achieve that. But that's pretty much all it's going to achieve.
And here's what they look like inside.
Hi, sorry.
Oh, sorry, I'll get mine.
Yep, you want to come
Can I
with me,
eat
guys?
I don't know if I feel fully comfortable, but...
Have you been here before?
No.
Okay, what's your handle? What do you call yourself?
Tyler.
Tyler,
Yeah.
come on in, Tyler.
Okay.
You can come take a booth. This is your first time.
Okay.
We do not let people do this, okay?
Okay.
Because you're not allowed to look at people who are privately doing something. Okay?
Okay.
And then you gotta go.
Okay.
That's what you get.
Oh, I thought.
Unless he wants to.
Kind of homes.
What's your handle? What do you call yourself?
Tyler.
Tyler,
Yeah.
come on in, Tyler.
Okay.
You can come take a booth. This is your first time.
Okay.
We do not let people do this, okay?
Okay.
Because you're not allowed to look at people who are privately doing something. Okay?
Okay.
And then you gotta go.
Okay.
That's what you get.
Oh, I thought.
Unless he wants to take a picture. No, we just wanted to have a look.
Okay.
So we don't do that.
Okay, all right, thank you.
But you're welcome to stay and take a table if you want. We have a table open if you feel comfortable.
All right. Okay.
Come on
Thank
back.
you. Okay.
I think harm reduction is an incredibly powerful and essential.
That's basically a crack house. It's a government provided crack house. Seen a crack house plenty of times. You go in, that's what it looks like. It's just dirtier, messier, might stink. That's what that is.
You've been in a crack house before?
Have you?
No. No. I'm not gonna say I have. No.
You ever been in a trap house?
No. No.
Component of how we structure our system, how we engage people, recognize that harm reduction as a bottom-up, interpersonal way of helping people is an essential practice, but it's got to lead to the ultimate goal of wellness. It's become linked with crazy stuff like drug use. It's not an addiction.
Sure.
We need to defend people's bodily autonomy.
Sure.
These
Rather than a means to an end, it became the end in and of itself, seemingly.
It became an end in itself,
Okay.
and people became protective of that. Then you get this kind of opportunity for predation.
Okay.
So this is economic predation.
Tell me about some of these bad actors.
But they're only bad actors if you have a critical view of capitalism.
In what sense do you say that?
Well, for instance, if you and I are running a global pharmaceutical company and we look around, the US and other countries, and we see that there are these mandatory disclosure laws, Sunshine Act and things like that, about, if we were to pay doctors to do things. But if we look up in Canada, we don't have laws like that.
Okay.
It's voluntary. When we have people who are currently in crisis, as we do now, we need to fast track everything that we know we can do to enable social reintegration and connecting people with lives that inherently matter to them, are inherently valuable. We're already committed to a model that we know is not performing well. It's not only the scientific evidence, it's the evidence in our communities.
Sure.
That,
Go for a walk.
Go for a walk.
Yeah.
It's clearly not working, right? Let's have the courage to admit that we've made some mistakes, and let's have the courage to shift our direction.
Facts.
Sad, man.
That was a little hard to watch.
Would
I
it
know
ever-
we watched the first. Oh, sorry.
No,
what
go.
was that? I was like, I know we watched the first one and stuff like that. When when he first went and stuff like that. But it's just kind of like something has to give. Like something. But when you have, never mind. But yeah, something has to give. But it's just sad to like see people like that. Like, I mean, these are choices that they did make, to, be on the drugs and be out here and whatever the case may be. But it's the fact that it's the enabling for me, because that's what it is. And that's sad. But
it's true. Hey, man, y'all spam us up in the comments. Y'all let us know y'all thoughts about it for us in the comment section down below. But until next time, y'all know how it go, man. I do go by the name DJ New K. This is
Sierra Nicole.
We are.
Kid and C.
We are.
Peace.
Please tell me you can hear me. Don't turn your back and don't neglect me. Just let me know if you need me. Dollar. Let me watch out for my partner.